if you are someone who just came into this field with the idea कि इसमें easily पैसा बन जाएगा, the barriers to entry in that way are very less. Like you just need to be able to do two things, right? Punch a buy order and punch a sell order. But that doesn't mean that money is that easy to make. Try to learn as much as you can. Systematic trading में भी तो कोई उतना unique खुद का system नहीं बना रहा है, right? If you are doing that, then you will learn something. But अगर तुम एक pre-existing system कोई बेच रहे हो और उसको बस तुम लगा रहे हो, then you're not a trader, right? In a sense, you have bought something that you will hope will make money for you. We are living in an environment where tariffs are being imposed left, right, and center. The biggest stabilizing force in the world so far, which people traditionally thought was the voice of sanity, there a lot of erratic behavior is happening, and that is causing people to again flock to gold. Hamesha the asset, the way gold proves itself as an asset is like no matter where you go back in history, you can take some amount of gold and it would be worth a certain amount, right? Gold in itself balances itself that way. Say any central government is just printing their own money, that devalues their money, but accordingly gold goes up to represent that truth, right? Ki your money is now worth less. Trading as a thing, when you look at it, like what skill set have you learned if it doesn't work out, right? You have taken 2 or 3 years of your life to devote to this and you have gotten better at reading charts or whatever. If you don't work out in trading, just another gambler, right? You should have this question very clearly about why you are trading, right? Each of the questions that people ask me is something I have sat with in my own head for a long time. To be able to execute trades with whatever clarity, you need to be very undivided in yourself.
अश्विन वेलकम, या फिर आई शुड से वेलकम बैक टू ट्रेडिंग की बात.
Thank you. I started my podcasting journey in a sense with Grow, so it feels good to be back. And when I first came on that podcast, I was worried ki like after going public, will my performance get affected? And I had a bunch of concerns like that. But happy to know that my account has grown
ग्रोन
much more.
मैसिवली, मतलब ग्रोन इज अ स्मॉल वर्ड जो आपके अकाउंट की परफॉर्मेंस है, एंड यू परफॉर्म वेरी वेल, एक्सट्रीमली वेल. अश्विन, लास्ट टाइम जो हमने डिस्कशन करी थी उसमें आपने अपनी स्ट्रैटेजी के बारे में बताया था कि आप मार्केट्स कैसे देखते हो, स्टॉक सिलेक्शन कैसे करते हो, एंट्रीज एग्जिट एवरीथिंग मैकेनिकल आपने एक्सप्लेन करा था हमें. बट तब से अब तक में बहुत चीज़ें इवॉल्व हो गई हैं, एंड द ट्रेडिंग दैट यू डन, जो आपका साइज है वो मैसिवली ग्रो हो गया है. तो बहुत सारी चीज़ों की हम बात करेंगे, बट बिफोर दैट मैं व्यूअर्स को बताना चाहूंगा कि एक यूएस ट्रेडिंग चैंपियनशिप होती है वर्ल्ड वाइड. अश्विन इज फिफ्थ इन दैट ट्रेडिंग चैंपियनशिप. मेनी कंग्रेचुलेशंस अश्विन.
Thank you.
बताओगे कि ये क्या होती है, एंड कोई कैटेगरीज भी होती हैं, और
Yeah.
आप कौन सी कैटेगरी में थे अगर है तो?
So, about US Investing Championship itself, it started in the 80s. The idea was कि some professors of finance had this idea of efficient market hypothesis, right? And their thesis was that long term mein people can't be consistently beating the markets. It averages out, right? So Norman Zadeh, this professor, he wanted to challenge that view and run this competition just to prove that there are people who do manage to beat the market massively and consistently, right? So since the 80s, it has been going on, and a lot of legendary traders, Paul Tudor Jones, Marty Schwartz, Mark Minervini, all of these people have been previous winners. So for me also, like when I came across this competition, there's two divisions: minimum $20,000 accounts, which is like 18 lakhs roughly, and minimum $1 million accounts, which is around 9 crore. Right. And you enroll whenever you want through a calendar year. Uh, the competition runs from January 1st to December 31st. But say you join on March or something, they'll calculate your returns from the start of the competition till December 30. From the day you join till December 31st.
December is the cutoff.
Yeah, December 31st is the cutoff. And I got into the $1 million division. But the mistake I did was like, I got profitable just towards the end of 2024, right? तो तब मेरे मन में चल रहा था कि like just अभी profitable हुए, like don't immediately think कि like you're ready for international competitions, right? And competitions kind of change your psychology also, right? So I decided like 2025 I'll give myself a year to like properly repeat this performance and show that it's not one off, and 26 onwards I can probably participate, right? uh so what happened was I decided this on January 1st, and sometime March jab pahuncha, I saw the leaderboard and I realized, oh, if I had joined in Jan in the $1 million division, and within each division also there's like a pure stock division and the other which is with leverage. So futures and options and anything is fine.
Mhm.
And you can trade any market in the world. Like
Okay.
it's not that you have to trade in the US market. So I traded in the Indian market, and yeah, like by March, I realized that my gold trade had been going so well that I realized I could have been number one at this point, right? बट फिर मैंने सोचा कि ठीक है, अब ऑलरेडी 3 महीने गए, तो लाइक now for me to join now and maybe the next like whatever months won't be that great, so I didn't. फिर अकाउंट काफी फ्लैट था, लाइक मार्च टू ऑलमोस्ट जुलाई और अगस्त द अकाउंट वाज फ्लैट. फिर अगस्त में आई अगेन वेंट ऑल इन ऑन गोल्ड एंड आई कैप्चर्ड अ वेरी big move that I realized even if I had joined in March, by September I would have been world number one. So I was telling this to a bunch of my friends and they were like, देखो अब तू फिर से December 31st को बोलेगा कि even if you had joined in October or whatever you could have won, and what is that, like go ahead and join. So I remember like mailing Dr. Norman on October 14th night, कि October 13th night, saying कि like are commodity futures allowed? And he's like, yeah, which division do you want to participate in? I say the $1 million, and he's like, since you're joining so late, I can make the entry fee half. And at this point, I was thinking, ki, like, the entry fee isn't even an amount that should have mattered to me. This guy is offering me half to incentivize me. Like, that should be a decision I should have made myself, right? So I signed up, and so at that point, the world number one was at 120% or 100% or something. So I realized I have 2.5 months if I want to win the competition. So basically, I need to double the account. So I like earlier was leaving some margin on the table, but like when a move was happening with me, I used to go really all in. Like any little move will give me a margin call, that kind of thing. And in a week, I was up 50%.
Wow.
And then in another week, I was down minus 15%. And I saw my like portfolio performance curve from the start of the year. And I realized still the competition, my whole journey had been so linear because I would never take a trade uh, if I didn't see something interesting. My whole mindset had become that if you get into a trade, you should have to work as less as possible, right? क्योंकि मुझे ऐसे I didn't want to spend all my day looking at screens, and even if I look at screens, I didn't want all day to be just about कि I'm actively trading, right? And a good strategy, a truly good strategy should make you do that, right? That you perfect your entry to a point that once you enter, you don't have to worry, right? So, yeah, I mean, I realized that this competition is what is leading to this kind of
अश्विन,
pressure.
ये जो कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रेशर है,
Yeah.
डिड इट लाइक यू आर सेइंग कि इससे परफॉर्मेंस आपकी इंप्रूव हुई है बिकॉज यू नो स्टार्टेड लुकिंग एट इट इन अ डिफरेंट वे कि आपने कहा यार ये तो एक स्पोर्ट की तरह है,
Yeah.
ठीक है, इसमें मुझे परफॉर्म करना है,
Yeah.
विच इज अ वेरी डिफरेंट माइंडसेट जो कंपेयर टू जो लोगों का होता है.
Yeah.
तो क्या ये कंपटीशन ने आपकी परफॉर्मेंस को ड्रास्टिकली इंप्रूव करा है, या अगर आप ना इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करते तो भी इस टाइप की परफॉर्मेंस होती या ना होती?
So, देखो like पूरे साल का मेरा रिटर्न Jan to December would have been 600% on $1 million account. And I joined in the last 2.5 months in which it was 75%. So I would say that only like joining the competition immediately and the less amount of time जो बचा था, that put a pressure on me for like a few weeks. But then I again like took a pause and just told myself ki like do what you would have done earlier. Like this time pressure is artificial, right? So then I actually just went back to whatever I was doing before and just forgot the idea कि I'm in a competition, and that way I think it's better.
अश्विन, परसेंटेजेस की आपने बात करी, एक थोड़ा-सा अगर इसको सिंप्लीफाई करें
Yeah.
और आप बताना चाहो कि अगर आपकी अकाउंट ग्रोथ कहाँ से कहाँ हुई है, तो यार क्या नंबर होगा वो?
I remember at the end of uh, on April 1st, like after I had paid all my taxes, my account was 1.47 crore or something. And now it's Feb and it's, I think, somewhere 13 crores. So, yeah, that's how it's going.
सो आई थिंक 1.5 करोड़ से 13 करोड़ रुपए हो गया है वो।
Yeah.
एंड अगर अश्विन के पास टाइम होता, कंपटीशन में एनरोल पहले कर लिया होता, ही वुड हैव बीन वर्ल्ड नंबर 1। दैट इज़ व्हाट यू आर सेइंग।
Yeah.
अश्विन फैंटास्टिक यार, सो लॉट्स टू लर्न फ्रॉम यू एंड सो ग्लैड टू हैव यू ऑन द शो। तो आज की जो डिस्कशन है ना अश्विन, वो मैंने कुछ इस तरीके से प्लान किया है कि जो भी इसको देख रहा है, एक तो उसको ये तो समझ आ ही जाए कि आप कैसे ट्रेड कर रहे हो, बट मोर देन दैट कि आप मार्केट्स को कैसे देखते हो। एंड बिकॉज यू आर अ ट्रेंड फॉलोअर, आप ट्रेंड्स को कैप्चर करते हो, सो वी कीप द इंटायर डिस्कशन अराउंड ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग। तो अश्विन, सबसे पहले मैं आपसे ये समझना चाहूंगा कि ये ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग अगर आपको किसी लेमन को समझाना हो, तो ये ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग होती क्या है?
I have a understanding of trends according to my style of trading because the thing is, like, when I started in the markets for the longest time, I tried not to read anything else about the markets, and I just went with my own experience, right? So a lot of the terms in the market are things that I like when I first got into options. I remember my positions had got so big at one point ki, like, just to de-risk those things, I had kind of matlab, done spreads. Okay, later I'm reading the chapter on spreads and I'm like, oh, this is something I've figured out on my own, right? So even with trend following, the idea, generally, I'm assuming what trend following means is that other than doing something like day trading or any of that thing where you're capturing volatility, say, over a short period, there are periods in the market where, like, things which have been flat for a long time start picking up a certain direction, right? It could be up or it could be down. And you want to be at that right point where you enter a trade and you are just riding that entire wave up, right? That's how I approach it. And yeah, I mean, that's my answer.
अश्विन, टू क्वेश्चंस। वन इज कि व्हाई डू ट्रेंड्स स्टार्ट?
Hmm.
लाइक अगर मैं बिल्कुल बेसिक में जाऊं कि हाउ डू यू सी अ ट्रेंड, कि अगर
Hmm.
ट्रेंड है तो वो है क्या?
Hmm.
ठीक है, जैसे चार्ट पे तो हमें दिख जाता है,
Hmm.
ऊपर लाइन है, इज इट
Hmm.
दैट सिंपल? और दूसरा कि व्हाई डज ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग
Hmm.
एज अ स्ट्रेटजी ये क्यों काम करती है रियल वर्ल्ड में?
Got it. So, okay, there are two ways to look at this. One is, say, the technical analyst view, कि charts कब breakout होता है, right? So, if you ask a technical analyst, like, there's been a long period जहाँ पे chart में consolidation हुआ. And what is consolidation? It's a period when the chart in terms of price is in a range. The contraction of that range over time reduces. The basic idea is you assume some big institution who has smart money, उसने figure out किया कि ये चीज ऊपर जाने वाला है, right? तो उन्होंने बड़ा position बनाया over time. So say you have 1,000 crores and you want to build up a 1,000 crore position in a certain stock, you wouldn't go and do that in one day, right? You might say buy like 10 crores worth of stocks every day and do it over 100 days or something. तो 3 महीने लग गए, right? And how would you even do it like week on week? जब भी मार्केट में थोड़ा गिर रहा है, कोई स्टॉक या कोई भी चीज कमोडिटी, then you would start to buy it as an institution. And then when it reaches a certain ceiling, you stop for the day or like you stop for that week. And then you again see कि market में like it has fallen again. So over time, if you are genuinely right about your direction as an institution and other institutions and smart money is all moving into it, ये price over time ज़्यादा नहीं गिरेगा, right? So over time, it's like a certain kind of build up that happens. So a technical analyst should be able to spot that through the price action. You'll see कि कोई अगर movement जैसे the recent commodity moves, right? If you look at the silver chart, there's a cup and handle forming right from the 70s. Okay. If you see the gold chart, like there were almost like these days the breakout happened on multi-month time frame, right? तो ये सोचो कि लाइक गोल्ड और सिल्वर जैसे कमोडिटीज कौन ट्रेड कर रहा है? ऑल द सेंट्रल बैंक्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, दे आर द बिगेस्ट ट्रेडर्स, राइट? If they see the economy going a certain way and if they are building up a position of that scale, that is what you as a person watching the charts is picking up, right? कि ये सालों से या months से कोई के एक डायरेक्शन में the stock is setting up for a move, right? So that's broadly like that kind of combines the fundamental and technical aspects, right? Like ये होता क्यों है? क्योंकि कोई बड़ा प्लेयर एक accumulate कर रहा है स्टॉक को या डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है. That's when it breaks down and a downward trend begins. An upward trend is like someone is accumulating the stock over time, right? So I mean that's a great way to like make sense of what a trader does from day to day, right?
अश्विन, ये जो थॉट है
Yeah.
ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग का कि
Yes.
जब एक एसेट की एक स्टॉक की प्राइस बढ़नी शुरू हो, आप उसमें तब एंटर कर रहे हो क्योंकि आप कह रहे हो कि जो चांस है इसके बढ़ने का वो ज्यादा है यहाँ से.
Yeah.
बट ये कॉन्ट्ररी है
Hmm.
कंपेयर टू व्हाट मोस्ट पीपल डू.
Okay.
कि एक स्टॉक जब गिर रहा होता है तो लोगों को वो सस्ता लगने लगता है एंड दे स्टार्ट बाइंग. ठीक
Yeah.
है, तो ये थॉट प्रोसेस जो है वो बहुत डिफरेंट है दोनों में. तो व्हाट मेड यू फील कि नहीं यार, गिरती हुई चीज को नहीं मैं खरीदूंगा, मैं बढ़ती हुई चीज को खरीदूंगा? ये माइंडसेट कैसे डेवलप हुआ?
Uh, देखो, most of the concepts that I have clarified in my head, I have tried to clarify it on a very simple level कि मैं किसी को भी समझाऊँ, they should believe कि हाँ ऐसे ही काम करता है, right? Like सोचो कुछ 4-5 horses कोई रेस दौड़ रहे हैं and there's one horse which is lagging, okay? And there's another which is winning. What a lot of people do, assume all of these horses were your stocks in your portfolio, right? What a lot of people do is like they take the bet of the horse that is already winning and they double down on the horse which is already losing, right? When you look at it that way, it makes no sense to like wait for something to fall, right? You are waiting probably like very strategically. So the point of कि लोग ऐसे स्टॉक्स नहीं खरीद रहे जो नए हाइस को हिट करते हैं, राइट? इमेजिन यू आर अ पर्सन जो who had the chance to get into Google stock, say when it was $10 or something. Maybe in like a few years it became 100. And at that point you might have thought कि इतना बड़ा jump है तो maybe I need to get out, right? And a lot of people, if they knew about Google stock from those years, they would have been like it's too inflated at this point. But maybe in another 5 years it became 100x, 1000x, or like whatever x, right? So a winning horse is always in the lead, is the way you look at it, right? If a stock is going to be a generational stock or any stock which you think is going to be a market leader, it has to be always near its all-time highs, right? That is how its market cap increases and how it becomes a generational company. तो उस लेंस से देखो, the best stock pickers could be people who are just very curiously observing something happening around them and like picking up trends, right? I remember Nvidia का जो अभी rise है, when I first came to Bangalore in 2015, 16 and all, like I think this was closer to like the end of the 2010s, but we had a gamer friend who used to use these Nvidia chips in his rig, right? Gaming rig. And he used to be so bullish on Nvidia even back then. कि मतलब as a he was an engineer, so he saw beyond it just being a gaming card, right? कि how much compute power it has. And that person like spotted a trend which say analysts or smart money would have spotted many years later, right? To look at it that way, like even if you're a technical analyst who doesn't want to know anything about the fundamentals, like try to still see it as an experiment ki like I come up with hypothesis for the world. Like I remember on the day that Trump announced copper tariffs, I spotted it on the CFD chart in copper, and I felt today something is going to happen. And in a few hours, like Trump made that announcement, right? So that's the power of true technical analysis or chart reading, that you are in a way predicting the future, right? So yeah, I mean, see it.
अश्विन, टेक्निकली
Yeah.
अगर मैं आपसे बहुत सिंपल वे में पूछूं कि मुझे आज ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग शुरू करनी है,
Hmm.
तो व्हाट इज द सिंपलेस्ट वे और द सिंपलेस्ट स्ट्रेटजी, लेट्स से, टू बिगिन ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग?
I would say don't see it as a trend following problem in itself. The problem is आपको समझना है stocks कैसे move करते हैं, right? Uh, in the process of answering this question, you realize that trend following is a great answer to it, right? But like if you were starting just generally, the biggest, most successful independent traders that you might have heard of, who are say managing money up to say $100 million or something, जहाँ पे उनके moves themselves aren't yet maybe moving the market in whatever sense, can continue to do technical. They all end up talking about the same thing, right? आप कोई भी जैसे मिनर्विनी का VCP देखो, all of these techniques are telling you कि first of all, the basics is you should know how to read charts, right? And in charts, don't focus on as much on like say 2 candle patterns, 3 candle patterns. ऐसे मत सोचो कि मुझे जानना है कल क्या होगा. कल क्या होगा is a difficult problem. It's like saying कि pick a random person in India and tell me his height, right? That problem is very tough. If you ask me the average height of a person in India, that's an easier problem to solve, right? So that is the way you should look at it. Ki, trend following allows you to first of all zoom out on a chart, and you're looking at long term patterns. And long term patterns, like a lot of people talk about it, generally you can follow Semina Vinny's work. I have also talked about it in a bunch of my previous talks. It is something I would say ki like don't come into the market with the expectation ki koi simple way hai to figure out any of this. It will take all the hours to see what I am seeing on the chart or any of these people are talking about, right?
सो अगर आपने पॉडकास्ट नहीं देखा हमारा पिछले वाला, अश्विन हैड शेयर्ड हिज एंटायर मेथोडोलॉजी कि एंट्रीज, एग्जिट्स और ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग एज अ स्ट्रैटेजी को कैसे ही लुक्स एट इट और स्टॉक सिलेक्शन ऑल कैसे करते हैं. सो अश्विन, मैं उस सारे प्रोसेस में दोबारा नहीं जाऊंगा बिकॉज आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम यू प्रैक्टिकली चीज़ें. और एक ना सवाल ऐसा आता है कि हर किसी से बात करो वो यही बोलता है, यार मुझे ना स्ट्रैटेजी दे दो. ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग की अगर मैं बात करूँगा, बोलेंगे यार अगर आप उसको बोलोगे ना मूविंग एवरेज ये 2 लगा ले, साथ में आरएसआई ऐड कर ले, वो बहुत खुश होगा. आई वांट टू आस्क यू, इज ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग या इज स्ट्रैटेजी ओवररेटेड इन ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग? सिंपल स्ट्रैटेजी.
So, like when people ask me to come on talks and tell me to talk about a particular style, right? Then I usually end up having to look कि ये style में क्या क्या आता है. Because you ideally want like strategy to is a solution to a problem, right? And you as an individual will have a whole set of problems which are unique to your trading. So, I mean, I don't know, like, even if I tell a person, just say, इस price पे घुसना है, and say for the rest of my life, I enter into a contract with a person, कि I'll tell you whenever I'm buying something, I feel like that person might still lose his money. Because he wouldn't know when to sell, because he has just like learned a bunch of things about the market. When real problems come, that time तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए, right? वो समझने के लिए तो like I would say strategy को मतलब that's just too heavy a word. You are trying to solve a problem in the market. तुम्हें chart में शायद कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा. See that basic problem तो simple है, right? Like you want to be able to look at any chart and say with more confidence किस direction में जाएगा. तो in my case, I want to be confidently able to tell कि ऊपर जाएगा, right? So as long as I do it, I am never 100% right with it. But say I am confident like 60% of the time or 70% of the times, I can adjust my bets to like reflect that thing, right? So yeah, I mean, if any of what I am saying doesn't intuitively strike a chord with you, I would say maybe that is also a sign कि like uh, either your approach to the markets is wrong, or like you can't force yourself to be good at markets, right? कि हर किसी को लग रहा है, maybe it says more about our economy in a sense that so many people are turning to trading right now, right? In a healthy booming economy where say people are all gainfully employed, a thing like trading doesn't flourish as much. So that is a sign of the times. But if you are someone who just came into this field with the idea कि इसमें easily पैसा बन जाएगा, the barriers to entry in that way are very less. Like you just need to be able to do two things, right? Punch a buy order and punch a sell order. But that doesn't mean that money is that easy to make. Right? So, I mean, वही अपना पैसा है तो हर कोई उसी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के साथ ट्रीट करो.
Ashwin, you are a discretionary trader.
Yeah.
Why is it that you find more comfort, yeah, an edge in discretionary trading versus systematic trading? और ऐसा है क्या कि discretionary traders are better at trend following compared to systematic traders?
I would say it's the same problem that AI is facing in a sense, right? कि एक ह्यूमन कैसे एक चीज को देखता है to capture it in all its beauty, a systematic trading system would have to encapsulate all the things that go in your head, right, into a system. तो then it's an engineering problem in a sense कि तुम कितना उसको translate कर सकते हो. If like everything I thought about the markets, if I knew how to code it out, I would probably go ahead and do it. But I evolve over time, so I don't know how to also. It's like always a lag, right? And for the capital that I use, I don't think it's large enough of a problem for me to systematize my process because say the challenge who does systematic trading most, like say a hedge fund or like a very big investment fund, right, who needs to enter and exit huge quantities, say unke liye maybe a lot of things need to be optimized in, right? In my sense ki say I enter into huge positions, right? And I exit huge positions and I do it across, like, say, multiple accounts. So, right now, I'm still using a browser to do all of this. So, my speed is a hindrance, right? So, maybe at that point, it makes sense for me to systematize some parts of the thing. कि मुझे इस point पे निकलना है, so then I could write a software to do it, right? But again, like, it's the same problem that people have with strategies, right? They get a word into their head and decide कि okay, like इस word में this sounds like a cool word, so I should do it instead of solving a problem, right? So in that sense, yeah, I mean, I would say कि initially try to learn as much as you can. Systematic trading में भी तो कोई उतना यूनिक खुद का सिस्टम नहीं बना रहा है, राइट? इफ यू आर डूइंग दैट देन यू विल लर्न समथिंग. बट अगर तुम एक प्री एग्जिस्टिंग कोई सिस्टम कोई बेच रहे हो और उसको बस तुम लगा रहे हो, then you're not a trader, right? In a sense, you have bought something that you will hope will make money for you.
Correct. Ashwin, you have made most of your money from commodities. आपने commodities के पूरे trends capture करे हैं. Now, जब हम compare करते हैं commodities को equities से, क्या by nature commodities ज़्यादा trending है? And let's say अगर equity versus commodity की बात करूं, तो fundamentally दोनों में क्या difference रहता है price movement में?
Okay. सो मैंने खुद ऐसे कमोडिटीज में एंटर करने का कोई डिसीजन नहीं लिया था. इट वाज जस्ट दैट in the equity market, I saw that the market might either go sideways or go down. At that time, I just got curious what else is there to trade because my strategy only looks at charts. So I was just interested in what else I could trade in the Indian market, right? So that is when I looked at commodities. And a challenge I had been facing for the longest time in stocks was जैसे इंडिया में अपर सर्किट्स होते हैं, राइट? So say I'm following some US trader like a Minarvini or like say a Kulamagi or someone. They see the same setups that I see, but they say ki okay, like I got into this at the right time and the stock went up 70% in a day, or like say 300% in a week. And I at some point realized there is no way like will be able to do anything like that in the Indian market. And that is not to say anything bad about upper circuits existing in India. We are still a nascent market. So for those of you who don't know, an upper circuit is basically like a limit, right? कि एक दिन में ये stock या commodity maximum 5% जा सकता है या 10 या 20%. So it has been artificially placed there. So once it reaches that price level, either trading stops or like it resumes with a new ceiling, right? what that pause helps one do is evaluate कि सोचो मार्केट एकदम कोई बैड न्यूज़ पे गिर रहा है. You don't want people to just like keep selling and for that level to go to an irrational level, right? So a circuit kind of gives every market participant time to take a breath, right? कि pause करो सोचो क्या हो रहा है, like, and then gather your wits and then we'll open the market again. So, I mean, a US market being so sophisticated doesn't need those kinds of guardrails anymore. But an Indian market may it exist. So I realize for all of these challenges, even if I catch a stock which is going up, say maximum 20%, that's the highest upper circuit in India, right? अगले दिन वही मोमेंटम कैरी ऑन नहीं करता. यूजुअली क्या होता है, लाइक इट रिवर्सेस 5% और से इट गोज अप 5% द नेक्स्ट डे, देन 2%. So the whole move fizzles out because of this break, right? But the moment I entered into commodities, I suddenly realized that like there's no stopping it. Like I have gotten into the same kind of setups I was getting into in stocks, but suddenly I'm getting rewarded much more and I'm having to basically work a lot less and make a lot more money. And I feel like there is some catch here. Like, what is the catch, right? But maybe it's just a sign of the times. This kind of movement, it's a 10 sigma event kind of moves that are happening these days. Uh, तो राइट प्लेस राइट टाइम या जो भी बोलो, आजकल तो आई कैन जस्ट से कि आजकल मेरे लिमिटेड एक्सपीरियंस में कमोडिटीज हैव ट्रेंडेड मच मोर देन स्टॉक्स.
करेक्ट. अश्विन, अगर मैं आपसे कुछ आपके ट्रेड्स के बारे में पूछूं, तो प्रैक्टिकली आई थिंक हमें सबसे ज्यादा सीखने को उससे ही मिलेगा कि आई वांट टू नो कि कुछ अगर आप हमें रीसेंट अपने ट्रेड्स के बारे में बताओ, बिकॉज आपकी पोजीशंस वर एक्सट्रीमली लार्ज. आई वांट टू नो कि आपने उस पर्टिकुलर कमोडिटी में कब एंटर किया, क्या देख के एंटर किया, व्हाट मेड यू होल्ड द ट्रेड एंड व्हाट मेड यू एग्जिट इट.
So, it's basically like now gaining attention, all the like the P&L figures that I'm posting in commodities, but the original trade in gold was in November or December in 2024. So I've been trading this for almost 1.5 years now, right? And the position has been the same. इतने सारे मेरे वेरीफाइड पीएनएल्स पे ऐसे कमेंट होता है कि ये बस लॉन्ग पकड़ के बैठता है. And I was like, yeah, like I have been doing it for a year. Like, why don't you follow it then if it was that simple, right? But uh, so the size in itself is a reflection of that, right? Say November May, when I first entered the gold thing, I saw a beautiful setup and it just kept moving, right? So even the USIC competition, जो मैंने बोला कि Jan 1st to March तक I had already become world number one. Even back then, I was holding just a gold position. I was on a vacation at that time and I had just entered the thing, and it was that simple riding that trend. Every morning I would wake up and see that like my PNL has increased more, I'm getting more margin, and I'm just adding that back. So once I get into a trade on some technical basis, right? Eventually the news catches up, right? So I want to see some positive signs to support my trade. Ki real world maybe people have maybe started to talk about in small circles, but eventually now we are at that point where I feel like the news is oversold, right?
अश्विन, ये नवंबर दिसंबर में क्या ट्रिगर था, चार्ट्स पे क्या दिखा था आपको उस टाइम?
It was just a VCP kind of
VCP,
setup.
okay.
Like that is the only thing I trade these days mostly. बाकी तो मतलब say smaller time frames पे to add on to the position I might look at other
Understood.
setups, but yeah, broadly that was the gist of it. So right now, right, gold going up in a certain sense. Again, what I was saying about कि relate what you see in the market with what happens in real life, right? इंडिया में हमेशा से या कोई भी कल्चर अराउंड द वर्ल्ड देखो, there is some story associated with gold, right? You send it along with the bride in a marriage, or like your mom is telling you to save up on gold. If a story like that has lasted so many centuries of civilizations, maybe it has some meaning to it, right? Why? Like, जैसे मैं टेक्निकल एनालिसिस किसी को समझा रहा हूँ तो they might not immediately pick it up, but bring it as a superstition or a story, then a certain kind of wisdom becomes a part of society, right? So in the case of gold, what are you seeing around the world? we are living in an environment where tariffs are being imposed left, right, and center. The biggest stabilizing force in the world so far, which people traditionally thought was the voice of sanity, there a lot of erratic behavior is happening, and that is causing people to again flock to gold. Hamesha the asset, the way gold proves itself as an asset is like, no matter where you go back in history, you can take some amount of gold and it would be worth a certain amount, right? Gold in itself balances itself that way. जैसे जैसे चीजें expensive हो रही है gold का भी, so it is a inflation hedge, it is a whole bunch of things, it's a flight of safety.
money in itself.
Yeah, it is money in itself, right? Like, say any central government is just printing their own money, that devalues their money, but accordingly, gold goes up to represent that truth, right? Ki your money is now worth less.
Right.
So that was the sign I was seeing. Ki on a fundamental level, I believe that like, uh, say I'm already riding like say a 50% move in gold or something.
Okay.
That has say happened over a year or something. Tomorrow, I'm not worried that gold across the world would fall 50%. At least that's my hope that nothing like that happens. So that in a sense gives me confidence to scale up that position. For me to be wiped out completely, globally something has to happen crazy, right? And they do happen once in a while, so you should of course hedge yourself against it. But yeah, I mean, that's been my broad logic right now.
And Ashwin, what about silver? उसमें भी VCB pattern दिखा? And
Yeah. So actually, मैंने gold after that November 24 to March 25 uh, move that I had, I thought that I shouldn't try to milk this resource anymore. Like, you don't need to make all your money just trading one thing, right? I started looking at other charts, and that's when silver I saw is a multi-decadal chart, 1970s say. Unfortunately, like at that time and even now, like silver has been always way more choppy, right? So I just saw that I'm getting in at the right point. Then a huge move up happens. I don't book my profit, then it comes down and it just goes back up. So that was happening to me for a few weeks, and I was waiting for the eventual breakout to happen. And I waited for like, I think, like almost a month or 2 months, and I realized in that time, if I had focused on gold, gold has again started moving. So finally, the next time that it happened, I got into silver. It went up a little. I got out and moved to gold. But that was when the generational move in silver began. But even then, I just told myself कि silver पे उस time पे 5x leverage मिलता था और gold पे 10x. So I reasoned कि gold में even if I catch a 5% move, uh, to make that same money in silver, I need a 10% move. So, in that sense, I felt more comfortable and I ended up missing out the whole silver move.
अश्विन, आपने बताया कि सिल्वर में चिप चॉप बहुत ज़्यादा था और बहुत बारी ऐसा हुआ कि आपने ट्रेड लिया, प्रॉफिट दिखा, बट वो प्रॉफिट वाइप आउट हो गया एंड इवेंचुअली एक टाइम आया जहाँ पे वो ब्रेकआउट सक्सेसफुल हुआ। तो ऐसे में आप क्या करते हो? आप बार-बार एंट्रीज और एग्जिट्स लेते रहते हो या यू हैव वेरी डीप स्टॉप्स जिसको आप होल्ड करके रखते हो?
Uh, it's mostly like a deep stop in that sense. क्योंकि my bar for entering some fresh position, say now if I today go back and add to a gold or something, that's different because I've already been in this trade for a long time. But सोचो मैं अगर कल कोई new stock में if I was entering, I would place a very high bar on, like, say how long the setup has been forming, how tightly contracted it is. If I am very convinced that this is a great setup and say tomorrow I put some money, I am willing to like hold the position. It's not even a percentage thing at that point. I am just seeing it on the chart. How does it look visually? तो मेरा जैसे सेटअप मोस्टली वोलेटिलिटी कॉन्ट्रैक्शन होता है, तो अज्यूम लाइक इट्स गोइंग एज अ सीरीज ऑफ लाइक कप्स, राइट? एज लॉन्ग एज it's forming smaller cups over time. In fact, I end up adding in a lot of cases, right? Like, say मुझे कोई setup दिख रहा है, which I believe will eventually break out, but it say still has some cups to form, right? And this is something that will only come with experience. You can't like start seeing this from tomorrow on the chart, but sometimes when I look at a chart, I feel like ये setup एक और हफ्ते में बहुत solid हो जाएगा if it moves the way I want it to move. right? So in that week, like I would see if it's ever falling down. So at that point, I might end up actually adding to the position, right? So uh, in the sense, like don't take it as a simple answer कि मतलब तुम नीचे ऐड करो या ऊपर ऐड करो. If you are have gained mastery over a certain kind of setup, then you will notice subtleties in a chart, right? क्योंकि मैं जब किसी चार्ट पे देख रहा हूँ कि this thing will eventually go up. The fact that I'm buying a stock, being able to buy a stock, feel means that someone else on the other side has the opposite view, right? I just have this information asymmetry, which is the ability to read a chart. So their panic becomes my advantage in a certain sense, as long as I feel it's a strong setup.
तो अश्विन, आपके जो स्टॉप्स होते हैं, आर योर स्टॉप्स मोर लाइक मेंटल लेवल्स या फिर एक हार्ड स्टॉप सिस्टम में होता है?
Uh, I think, yeah, this is an interesting question because I am a person who has gone through a whole fluctuation in my account over time, right? So at some point when the account became too big, like I realized that whatever worries I had about money, say like 2 or 3 years back, from not having a job, from having lost all my savings, and being out of the job market for so long and having to probably go back, right? At that time, I still wanted to continue trading. So in a sense, I made it very personal ki what all would genuinely be needed in your life to make you happy, right? And I wasn't like very saintly about it either. कि मुझे कल से एकदम say Gandhian life जीना है. That wasn't even the idea. I just asked that question to myself. Say I need a certain amount of money to enjoy life, and after that everything is say a luxury. I'll still be just as happy leading this kind of life. I reached that number like a long time back, right? So these days for me, it is like a competitive thing where it's just about getting the best performance out of the money, right? So in a sense, when say my account fluctuates through whole numbers, like I realize every time on Twitter, people go crazy, ki like, ye numbers, how is this person handling? And if you saw me in that day, you wouldn't even know like ऐसे कुछ trade हो रहा है. Sometimes I would be out with my friends and like my account might be. I just carry my laptop along कि phone पे कभी मुझे really intervene करना पड़े, then I will. But otherwise, like if I believe in a setup, like the number fluctuations are a function of the size of my portfolio now. It's not a strategy ka fault. It might be a strategy ka fault to some extent, but as long as I am comfortable with the what I see on the chart, like numbers don't bother me as much.
So Ashwin, have you moved past that thought कि ये real money है and it's just
No, no, I am absolutely in no delusions about the fact that this money will have like it should be put to good use, right? If I am saying ki beyond a certain amount, this money wouldn't make me any more happier or whatever, that doesn't mean that this is just a number I play with, right? I would want to put it to some good use, but it shouldn't be at the cost of like a lot of my performance would be adversely hindered if I tomorrow start about thinking money in a different way, right? Uh, there have been days when, like, say, I am the only person in the world who knew the fluctuations of my trading account at one point, right? So I have kind of achieved like a deeply personal, very practical relationship with money that I am kind of comfortable with, right? And I don't want to hear a kind of external noise which say puts any kind of pressure to see money in any different way, right? I do have plans for putting this money to much better use, but right now it is just key. It's a technical challenge before my eyes and I want to do the best I can.
Ashwin, at what stage ऐसा कब हुआ जब जो आप बता रहे हो इट्स अ वेरी गुड स्टेज टू रीच कि जहाँ पे यू नो मनी इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम इन द सेंस कि यार आई एम लुकिंग एट इट इन अ डिफरेंट मैनर दिस इज अ competitive sport for you. It's not about just you know making money, holding it, worrying about money basically. तो ये स्टेज कब आया एंड ये माइंडसेट कैसे डेवलप हुआ कि यार आई हैव टू मूव पास्ट दिस कि जहाँ पे यू नो सारा टाइम मैं स्ट्रेस में रह रहा हूँ कि यार मेरा पीएनएल कम हो रहा है, पैसे जा रहे हैं, पैसे आ रहे हैं, यू हैव मूव पास्ट दिस स्टेज, तो ये कैसे अचीव हुआ?
So my equation with money was always seeing it in terms of time and freedom, right? I was in the workforce for 6 years, right? It was a brilliant job. It was the best kind of exposure for me, joining PhonePe as an early employee and now seeing it being used by every person in India, right? So that was a great journey for me. But at some level, I felt that I have something in me which I want to express better. And for that, like what I'm missing out right now is time and freedom, right? I feel guilty about spending my free time, say, not doing work related things. I'm in a sense very like glued to the, like it's like a horse with blinkers, right? कि तुम्हें बस एक path दिख रहा है and you feel that even if you slightly veer off that course, your life could tragically fall in whatever way, right? That's at least how I was looking at it. But then if you travel enough and if you interact with enough people, say from across different strata of society, you at some point realize ki life isn't whatever you see in a Bangalore or a Bombay or like a Delhi, right? You can still have a very healthy, whatever kind of life. So in that moment, it was clear ki money I don't want to make for the sake of money, making money. It is to uh, give myself the luxury of time and freedom, right? And I'm so happy I went down this path that it did solve all of those things for me, right? In a sense, say, if I was a writer or a filmmaker, and if that was my passion, it wouldn't have simultaneously made me money to sustain myself. But in a way, this problem that really engaged me turned out to be money making also. So in every sense, I feel like matlab, money was just a happy side effect of a bunch of other things which aligned in my life. I wanted an interesting challenge to work on. People talk about manifestation all the time, right? I feel like it works to an extent in the sense कि it forces you to visualize what you want, right? It's not about saying कि कल मुझे Mercedes चाहिए. That is so shallow of a thought कि the universe wouldn't conspire to get you a Mercedes, right? But put a larger picture around it. Like for me, it was all about the fact कि when I finally lost all my money, the biggest regret for me was कि if you go back to a job, you won't have all the luxury of time that you had. Even on a market day, I'm reading random fiction books or like I really enjoy watching good films. So I'm doing all of that, right? And I felt that if I have to go back to a career, all of these are things which I'll feel guilty about. The fact that I was watching movies when my account was going down or was reading a fictional book at that time, which isn't something that I should ideally feel guilty about. As humans, like in a idealistic world, like work in its narrow sense isn't what everything should stand for, right? So for me to make money in the market, it was a way to strongly say ki this is all that I want to experience in life, and I'll figure whatever it takes to make that happen, right?
Ashwin, markets में there are two things which rules everybody. आपका greed and your fear. And I believe the fear of losing money is a lot more in people. तो अश्विन जैसे अब you have made a significant amount of money and you've also seen एक स्टेज था जहाँ पे आपने पिछले पॉडकास्ट में बताया था कि सारी सेविंग्स ऑलमोस्ट खत्म हो गई थी. इफ आई रिमेंबर द फिगर इट वाज 6-7 लाख जो शायद बचा था.
The funny thing is like I had like 3 lakh in my savings account and 7 lakh in my trading account. And I was wondering like if I make 1 lakh in a month and if I take 1 lakh out, both of those are like crazy numbers, right? 1 lakh, 7 lakh pe banana. Or if I take it out, when will I ever escape this loop, right?
Right.
And at that time, I got an income tax refund of 3 lakhs. And that kind of sustained me for a few more months. I was like, okay, for some months, I don't need to think of taking money out of it. So in that month, the account went from 7 to 11 lakhs and from 11 to 3 crore, right? So yeah, in a
तो अश्विन
sense,
आज की डेट में
yeah.
डू यू समटाइम्स हैव दिस फियर कि यार मेरी इतनी बड़ी पोजीशंस हैं, फ्लक्चुएशंस करोड्स में हो रही हैं एंड सीइंग द रीसेंट मूव्स वी हैव सीन व्हाट कैन हैपन. कभी ऐसा डर लगता है यार व्हाट इफ आई गिव दिस बैक, या कोई ऐसा तो नहीं कि बड़ा लॉस हो जाए व्हिच कॉजेस अ सिग्निफिकेंट डेंट टू माय कैपिटल नाउ.
See, at this point, if I lost everything, that would just be foolish. Like, I would judge myself. Till 2 times, it was still like a nice story, but 3 times, you're just stupid. right? So what I would want to do is like take a significant chunk of money out where I feel comfortable enough ki this much amount I can still grow back. If the rest of it it totally
Yeah.
like blows up, right? So yeah, I mean that way then you get even more confidence on the amount you have in your trading account, and in a sense you're ensuring safety for yourself,
Correct.
right? So yeah,
Ashwin, if I go back to January, January saw the biggest move. सबसे बड़े मूव सिल्वर और गोल्ड में जनवरी में रहे हैं एंड आपने पोजीशंस उस टाइम पे रखी हुई थी. आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड द माइंडसेट यू हैड दैट टाइम कि जहां पे सिल्वर रोज 10-10% बढ़ रहा है एंड यू आर सीइंग कि यार मेरा प्रॉफिट बढ़ता जा रहा है बढ़ता जा रहा है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल डिड यू होल्ड ऑल योर पोजीशंस सो दैट कभी होता है ना कि यार मेरे पास अगर 50 स्लॉट है मैं एक बेच देता हूँ 5 बेच देता हूँ 10 बेच देता हूँ. डिड यू स्केल इन स्केल आउट ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम? एंड दूसरा सेकंड पार्ट इज कि जब ये फॉल आया, फॉल भी उतना ही ब्रूटल था एंड मेरे हिसाब से लोगों को ज्यादा नुकसान हुआ है. जितना लोगों ने पैसा बनाया वो ज्यादा वापस कर दिया लोगों ने. तो इस फॉल में आपका माइंडसेट क्या था? कैसे, हाउ डिड यू हैंडल दैट पीएनएल गोइंग डाउन इन अ वेरी फास्ट मैनर?
So, okay, one of the things about futures trading that people who trade stocks won't realize is जो M2M settlement होता है, right? Like, say you bought 10 lakh worth of futures or whatever, and within a day, the value of those positions became 12 lakh. The 2 lakh kind of hits your account and you're getting additional margin the next day, right? Then you can again buy those positions. So what happens is अगर आपने अपना bulk of the position before breakout enter नहीं किया, then the thing is, as the move goes in your favor, your position size keeps on increasing. If that's your style, right? कि जो भी margin मिल रहा है, if you put it back into the trade, if that's your style, then when the final reversal happens, like you might have ridden, say, a 15% move up, but a 5% fall at the top might wipe away your entire capital because you've kept scaling up the
Correct.
position, right? Uh, so yeah, I mean, that's in a sense my risk management to an extent. Ki I always feel like the bulk of my position I want to enter on a long base. A lot of times it's kind of a detriment in my strategy कि अगर move start होता है before I have managed to enter, then I sometimes just skip the entire chart, right? That is kind of what happened with silver. I saw silver was going up, but I realized it's off the base. After that, I just was never comfortable getting into it for a long time
Okay.
till it again formed a base, right? So in a sense, I also saw it कि this is probably a once in a generation setup. It's what is happening, right? जैसे मैं बोल रहा हूँ सिल्वर में मल्टी डेकेडल चार्ट है. So you are right now in that right sweet spot where the breakout happened on the
Right.
chart, right? So once in a while when you are very at the top of your, I guess, abilities and confidence in the market, and such a thing happens, it's just bad strategy that if you're not betting enough. That is what I feel. But again, this comes with the caveat that you need to be that confident in your abilities. So yeah, I mean, with gold and silver, that is what happened.
एंड अश्विन, व्हाट अबाउट द फॉल जो फ्राइडे को गिरा ये? तो उस टाइम पे पीएनएल बहुत ड्रास्टिकली आपका कम हो रहा होगा इतनी बड़ी पोजीशन पे. तो इसको कैसे हैंडल करा मेंटली एंड इन योर ट्रेड्स? लाइक डिड यू स्टार्ट एग्जिटिंग इन द मॉर्निंग या ड्यूरिंग द डे आप धीरे धीरे स्टैगर्ड वे में एग्जिट कर रहे थे?
So about how the PNL itself affected me, not as much. Okay. So in the sense, right, like when does a certain amount vanishing really affect you, right? If you have already thought of मैं इस पैसे से क्या करता, like my account kind of doubled in the week before that. Like in a week it had reached that point जहाँ पे Friday पे थे. So I had totally not even processed the fact कि like this new money has come in before that it vanished. So it's not like I had any fixed plans about that money, right? So like if I had multiple loans and like if I had already started to think of all my life plans in terms of what this money would give me, then it would have really bothered me.
Yeah.
But right now I didn't have a plan for it. So it's just a number which was on my screen and now.
सो दैट वे यू आर सेइंग कि अगर आपके डिजायर्स नहीं है रिलेटेड टू दैट मनी
Hmm.
व्हिच यू आर मेकिंग, then you don't get too attached to that money. Naturally, that happens.
I would say, like, say, even me, right? I'd say 1/10 my account size wouldn't be able to hold this thought, right? Because right now it is just like a threshold beyond which, like, a lot of your, say, daily life is taken care of, right? But if my account was 1/10 of that, it would have bothered me much more. After a certain amount, that money could differ for every person. But like if you are a regular person doing a regular job, don't have the takeaway ki like मुझे desires निकालने हैं life से. Like that is what motivates you to do better, right? In your career, to say aim for a salary hike. That's all good things which motivate a person. So about exits itself, that is one area I really need to work on. Like I feel like I'm great at identifying entries. I feel like I'm even good at like shorting. Okay, like if you show me a chart which I'm not in, and if you ask me my opinion, I will be very clinical about it. कि like इसमें से निकलना चाहिए. But the moment I have had a long position जो मैं बहुत time से hold कर रहा हूँ, I'm just not able to pull the trigger. So that is something even I work on. So mostly my exits are like it's becoming painful enough or like embarrassing enough right now that I don't want to like it just becomes a number that has fallen so much that I get out. The few times I have gotten out properly, but in a sense, like you would say, ki the account has still grown, right? So I'm doing something right. So in a sense, my entry criteria, which is so strict, kind of helps me not go down a lot of paths which other weaknesses in my style would bring,
Right.
right? If I was a trader जो बहुत short term moves पे speculate कर रहा होता, then the fact that I am bad at exits would have affected me much more. But since like we are talking about my style is trend following and I'm trying to get at the beginning of a big trend, the last few bits of like top, even if I don't catch, I'm kind of okay.
अश्विन, ज़्यादा परेशान क्या करता है? जल्दी एग्ज़िट करना व्हिच मीन्स यू आर लूजिंग कैचिंग दैट पार्ट ऑफ द ट्रेंड या फिर एग्ज़िटिंग लेट एंड गिविंग बैक अ लॉट ऑफ द मनी दैट you've made?
Uh, Both of them in a sense, right? Like I have been at both ends. In a sense, early on, jab initially say your strategies are first starting to work, right? That happens after so many attempts of trying and like failing. कि first time जब मैं कोई 5 या 10% move catch कर रहा हूँ, then I am like, this has been my best ever move ever. Let me book profit, okay? Then I see that stock went on to go up, say 100% or something. HBL Power, I remember I had gotten into it very early on, and at that time, I used to only scan for NSE stocks at some point, and HBL was only on BSE. It kind of missed my radar, and I saw it a year later, and it become like 5x or 6x or something. So I have experienced that, and this was when I had already lost all my money. I was just thinking, like for 2.5 years, like whatever struggle मैंने किया था, अगर मैंने सारा पैसा बस HBL Power में first day पे लिया होता, I would have been in a much better position, right? I felt that, and exiting too early, I somehow, yeah, like it still feels good too, especially if you're like close enough to the top in a certain sense, then you don't regret the last bit of thing. जो भी मेरे trading strategy में I have seen as weaknesses, I realize it's a problem with how I think about it, right? So at some point I need to convince my mind ki like this last bit of move, even if you miss, the other thing, doing the right thing of getting out early, I have to somehow reinforce it in my head ki this feels better,
So
right?
does that mean कि scaling out gradually
Hmm.
is also one of the ways with which you can, overcome this problem?
I have tried that, but like I have mostly tried it in gold, but you have seen the way the trend is happening. Like I tried to scale out and I realized that I would have been better off if I had added at that point. So it ends up ki I'm again scaling back in and like with a bigger position. So I mean there's no real like good answer from my end, I guess. Like I feel like I know when a move is towards the end. I'm just not pulling the trigger right now. And if it's something I work on, like I would still kind of, I think, get out in say 2 or 3 turns. कि
Okay.
अगर full 100% size है तो एक move में 50% पे और फिर 25% then maybe completely exit.
Okay.
Because you don't want to be very divided in yourself, right? In my head, that is another thing that I have lately started doing, the concentration in my position sizes, right? At some point, I realized that I'm good enough at chart reading that I don't need to hedge my bet across 5 stocks. Uh, से मुझे 5 स्टॉक्स सही लग रहा है और उसमें से 1 या 2 बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग लग रहा है। आई एम स्टिल लाइक इक्वली डिवाइडिंग इट इंटू 5 बिकॉज़ आई थिंक इट्स बेटर रिस्क मैनेजमेंट। बट देन इट्स हैपनिंग ऑफन इनफ कि लाइक आई एम सीइंग कि इफ आई हैड ट्रूली पुट मोर मनी ऑन दोज़ 2 would have been better off. So that confidence developed over time and I realized uh, uh, the amount of management the other 3 positions require, that is also kind of taking my attention away from these 2, right? So in every sense it was uh, becoming like less optimal for me to diversify. So these days, like even when I'm trying to trade both gold and silver at the same time, I feel like this is too much. If I could just look at one chart, that would be best. Like every time a notification comes, I know it's just gold going up or down. So in that sense, I have started to prefer this, but it's again a journey. Like you will have to build that confidence first, then you can go all in on one
अश्विन,
position.
आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन। बहुत बारी ऐसा हुआ था इस मूव में कि प्राइस शार्प फॉल्स होते थे दिन में, लेट्स
Hmm.
से 7-8% टूट गया एंड पूरा अगले दिन रिकवर कर गया, बट यू केप्ट होल्डिंग ऑन टू योर पोजीशन। वाज देयर अ रीजन कि डिस्पाइट दीस फॉल्स यू डिड नॉट एग्जिट? मतलब
I
टेक्निकली ऐसा कुछ दिखा था उसमें आपको?
So when you see a fall, right, like how quickly it recovers from that fall is very important. It's not bad for a stock to suddenly fall, say, in a permissible range. It's bad if it takes too long to recover from that, especially when it's going in a certain direction, right? So, uh, I will talk more about gold because silver, like I have only scalped in between in small ranges, but gold के case में, like multiple time frames where I could see that thing getting validated. Ki sometimes if I'm on a minute chart, like every small fall immediately is getting some kind of buyer, right? And if you have just been staring at one chart like all day for like a year, right? You start to feel a certain pulse of the market.
Yeah.
You know ki like what is starting to look like a genuine like sell off and what is just temporary shake-up. So in my case of commodities, right, people might actually find this useful. You need to understand the pulse of a lot of different things, right? कि US market कब open होगा. उस time पे you will see some kind of choppiness in a commodity chart, right? And why do you think that happens? I'm not saying this is exactly how it happens, but say take a hypothetical scenario. At any point in a market, there will be people who are long and people who will be short, right? Institutions also, long and short both. Imagine there's a particular day when US market has a sudden gap down or something. So all the people in long trades would be caught, right? They would be facing margin calls. Where do they get the margins to like suddenly hold on to the position or get out of it? They might be looking to other asset classes that they are also invested in, right? So people generally have this mental model ki like commodities and markets go in different directions. But off late, if you see, it has been going exactly in parallel. And that kind of also validated my hypothesis ki if money is being printed at whatever rate and all the stock markets in the world are going up, those are the kind of linkages that I see, right? Say a choppiness happens around US market open, I am immediately trying to see ki what exactly happened in the US market. Is the it could be either way that like in that moment US market gap down and at the same time gold is also gapping down. But later on, once the market stabilizes a bit, you will see that both charts are going together, right? Think of it always in terms of players. Like an institution caught in on the wrong side of a trade is just exiting something else for liquidity.
Yeah.
But once they have managed their positions, they might scale back in to both of those things, right? So these are things you will notice as patterns when you have been looking at different charts and trying to build some kind of story in your head.
Ashwin, when you look at टेक्निकल चार्ट्स फॉर कमोडिटीज, तो कमोडिटीज के लिए आप इंटरनेशनल यूएसडी चार्ट्स प्रेफर करते हो या एमसीएक्स के चार्ट्स?
So I prefer CFD charts mainly because my whole hypothesis is that a chart works because there are a lot of participants in the market and their collective behavior, like two people can do anything, but a mass as a whole behaves in a certain way, right? And repeatable ways. So CFD charts have the most liquidity or like the most data. And even in terms of hours, they are operational. They are almost like operational 24/7, right? So if I were just looking at MCX chart to decide my positions, I feel like I wouldn't capture the even longer moves that I want to see in a market where more participants are trading. The only other thing you have to be conscious of when looking at CFD charts is you also need to look at USD INR chart alongside, right? Because CFD chart अगर ऊपर जा रहा है और USD INR chart नीचे जा रहा है, then both are in different directions, right? But say on the USD INR chart you are expecting a breakout, right? At that time, if gold is even like not that convincing, you can still kind of take a bet, right? Because then you're seeing ki USD INR might still make up for the difference. So these are some like nifty hacks that you can use for trading commodities as opposed to stocks.
अश्विन, हर ट्रेडर को ना आदत होती है पीएनएल अपना चेक करते रहने की, एंड द बिगर द पोजीशन द मोर द टाइम इन फ्रंट ऑफ द स्क्रीन.
Hmm.
हाउ इज इट विद यू कि हाउ फ्रीक्वेंटली डू यू ट्रैक योर पीएनएल्स? डू यू कीप वाचिंग योर एम टू एम्स या फिर यू ट्राई एंड स्टे अवे फ्रॉम द स्क्रीन?
I have no problem with screens in itself. I have problem that if I don't do other things while it's happening, in the sense that one of a reason to be a trend follower is that I don't have to micromanage a position, right? Of course, like when the position size grows, the best time is when a chart is still consolidating, right? That time there's no real movement happening. A little fall is also a chance to add for me, right? At that time, I'm pretty chill. But other times when a move is happening, it's just that I'll always like have my phone or like laptop close by और मैं alerts लगाता हूँ different levels पे तो like I can continue to do whatever else, but if I get an alert, then I know I need to look at the chart. So I'll just quickly look at the chart and decide कि if is it something that requires me to be in front of the desk now or not. Uh, for most of this gold move, it hasn't been the case. Like, if someone were to observe my life over the past 2 years and said, ki, like, this person was also doing these things in trading, like, you would be surprised how little correlation there were between my most profitable days and what I was actually doing on that day.
Right.
Yeah, that's just a function of like you putting in all the effort beforehand, right? Front load karo, like go through like thousands of charts if you have to, but finally arrive at a chart which is so good that you can live the rest of your life with peace and you just have to put your money.
अश्विन, ड्रॉडाउन्स आर समथिंग जो कि इनएविटेबल है, एंड एवरी ट्रेडर गोज थ्रू फेजेस जहां पे लॉसेस आते हैं. नाउ द थिंग विद ड्रॉडाउन्स इज दे डोंट जस्ट टेस्ट यू फाइनेंशियली. फाइनेंशियली के साथ साथ वो आपको मेंटली भी टेस्ट करते हैं, एंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स जहाँ पे आपको डाउट होने लगता है कि क्या जो मैं चीज़ कर रहा हूँ, जो मैं प्रोसेस फॉलो कर रहा हूँ, स्ट्रैटेजी फॉलो कर रहा हूँ, डज दिस वर्क और नॉट? ऐसा तो नहीं जो पिछले ट्रेड्स थे वो फ्लूक थे,
Mhm.
या जो मैंने प्रोसेस स्टार्ट किया है, समथिंग हैज चेंज इन द मार्केट और वो स्टॉप हो गया है. हैव यू फेस्ड समथिंग सिमिलर, एंड इफ यस, हाउ डिड यू ओवरकम इट?
Uh, initially, drawdowns were a big hit on confidence because उस time पे I had no demonstrated history of being consistently good in the market, right? At that time, it's not just कि मतलब drawdown hits you in the sense कि it's not that a strategy stopped working. You never had a strategy in the first place, and you have only been in drawdowns, right? But over time, like you of course have to remove yourself from that number itself. like I've spoken about this before also, that the fact कि जब मेरा account 10 लाख पे है and say I'm already in a 90 lakh drawdown, when I make that 10 lakh to 11 lakh, I'm not seeing कि I made 10% in a day or something. I'm just seeing कि that 90 lakh drawdown is now 89 lakhs. And I am not giving myself the right kind of reinforcement कि 10% was good. I am saying 10% is not enough, which forces me to take even more riskier trades, right? So I think a good strategy is the solution to a lot of things. In the sense, a good, uh, like when you start out trading, there are so many things you don't know. uh, the problem with knowing all the buzzwords beforehand is कि you feel it's too intimidating कि क्या क्या सीखना है. Right? But I myself, when I started trading, all I knew was that calls you buy when something goes up and puts you buy when something goes down. Everything since then has been just like a natural doubt I had, right? कि क्यों ऐसे calls ऊपर जाता है? Like Greeks and all, on an intuitive level, I knew कि this is how things would work. But when I saw कि oh, this comes from a proper formula and like people have won like a Nobel Prize or whatever for formalizing it, it felt ki wow, I know this from a place of intuition. I don't understand the math. I don't even know the words properly. Like whenever people tell beta or gamma, I try to correlate to what it is in my head, but the words themselves don't make sense to me. So just approach trading that way, right? Like you, uh, like for whatever reason, like the feedback, the drawdown ka pain is good feedback, right? Like you could be doing a whole bunch of other things where तुम्हें पता ही नहीं चलता कि तुम सही कर रहे हो या गलत. एटलीस्ट ट्रेडिंग में तुम्हें वो फीडबैक तो मिल रहा है, लुकिंग एट योर पीएनएल
मिल रहा है.
या तो यू इमीडिएटली नो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू मोर ऑफ, व्हाट यू नीड टू डू लेस ऑफ. तो दैट इज व्हाई साइकोलॉजी बिकम्स एन इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग इन द सेंस कि is your ego stopping you from taking the lesson? Like the money is clearly giving you the lesson. What is stopping you from acting on it, right? At that point, you have to confront the fact that it's just your ego.
आई थिंक अश्विन मार्केट्स में ऐसा है कि डेली आपको मार्केट आगे बोल रही है कि तुम सही हो या गलत हो.
Hmm.
एंड वी आर सो हैबिचुएटेड, हम जॉब्स वगैरह में हैं, तो जॉब में अगर मुझे मेरा बॉस डेली आगे बोल दे कि तू यार ये काम ही गलत कर रहा है
Hmm.
और कंटिन्यूअसली बोलता रहे,
Yeah.
तो इट विल बिकम वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू डू योर जॉब. But in the markets, this is where things get tough, that you have a constant feedback. You are being told whether you are right or you are wrong, and that number in front of you tells you. So, a lot of people are not able to take that कि मैं गलत कैसे हूँ और मैं
Hmm.
बार बार गलत कैसे हूँ.
See, at that point, like say, even in the case of a boss, अगर boss बार बार आके ये बोल रहा है, and if you're still doing the work, then you would ask yourself the question, right? Why am I putting up with this, right? So market maybe ask yourself the question, like it is giving you a certain kind of feedback,
Yeah.
and it's asking you a question, right? Like, do you like this enough to put up with this? And the answer could very well be no. Like you can say कि this is not the kind of stress that I want in my life. Like it's not a personal thing. Uh, I would know so many brilliant people in my own life who I know wouldn't be suited to trading because that's a different skill set. It's just that, it's nothing personal. So, I mean, ask yourself just that question, right? Drawdowns and all, it is a brilliant feedback you're getting.
Yeah.
If it's making you feel bad or like if it's causing your performance to deteriorate further, maybe then like not everyone is forced to be like a footballer or something, right? Where the odds are the same. You playing for India
Right.
or
Right.
whatever, or being successful at trading.
Ashwin, lot of takeaways from you. In the closing, I'll ask you a question. Suppose you could go back to your earlier self and आप जाके अपने को बता सकते हैं, when you started, कि this is what you should do from here on if you want to succeed at trading. And to everyone in the audience who is starting trend following or a similar strategy, what advice would be to your younger self?
So, okay, I had a funny interaction like a few years back. So the ace investor Vijay Kedia, if you know, like I saw him at the Kochi airport lounge, and caught him at a bad moment in the sense that he was in a rush to go somewhere. And I just like said that, sir, I've seen your journey and all of that. And I told him this is what I do in the market. And he listened to all of it. And I just like asked him, sir, आपको क्या लगता है ये सही है जो मैं कर रहा हूँ? He was like, मुझे तो ये गलत लग रहा है कि तुमने जॉब छोड़ के तुम ट्रेडिंग कर रहे हो. So I honestly, when I heard it, I felt I respected him even more because a lot of people have asked me that same question and I have always given the same answer. Because a thing like trading, right? No one should encourage you to do it. Everyone should say no to you.
Correct.
Incidentally, Vijay Kedia, actually, I called up my mom उस time पे मैंने Wikipedia link भेजा कि देखो मैं इनसे मिला. उतने में sir himself came and I think he felt like बहुत जल्दी मैं ये advice दे दिया. He was telling me that like, of course, I'm not trying to discourage you or anything. I just feel that you are young and like अगर तुम job में ज़्यादा कमा रहे थे than trading, you should like this is a bull market जिसमें तुम नहीं बना पा रहे हो better return. तो तुमने तो falling market देखा ही नहीं है. So I could see that he's looking out for me and that is what I also always tell people कि like uh, trading as a thing, when you look at it, like what skill set have you learned if it doesn't work out, right? You have taken 2 or 3 years of your life to devote to this, and you've gotten better at reading charts or whatever, but it's not something society will really appreciate. Startup करके fail हो तो भी like people will appreciate. If you don't work out in trading, just another gambler, right? So I mean, you should have this question very clearly about why you are trading, right? Each of the questions that people ask me is something I have sat with in my own head for a long time. Uh, to be able to execute trades with whatever clarity, you need to be very undivided in yourself, right? Like you can't have like your mind going two ways. What I'm doing, is it right or not? At some point, I had just made my peace with the fact that I enjoy this thing. I haven't made money, but I enjoy it, and that's enough. So, yeah, I mean,
I think Ashwin, it was a wonderful conversation that we had. Lot of takeaways from you. For the strategy bit, again, we have a separate podcast where you have explained the entire process, and I think you have been following something very similar till now. But into the mindset of a trend follower, that was something totally different. We got to know a lot of things, how you hold on to your positions, scale in कैसे करते हो, scale out कैसे करते हो, and your entire philosophy around trend following. I think it's going to be very valuable for anybody watching it. Ashwin, thank you so much for your time. Absolute pleasure talking to you.
same here. This has been like as I said, like every time I've come back here, I've had a great time, and it's just honestly, I try to put my views out through tweets, but of course, like if you hear me talk, you'll realize ki there's so much more I always want to say, right? So it's lovely to get a platform to do all of that. So thank you.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing. Please read the risk disclosure documents carefully before investing in equity shares, derivatives, mutual fund, and or other instruments traded on the stock exchanges.